First of all, I will probably be doing more details on Facebook. I already did like 2 days worth, but I didn't do yesterday and the day before. We win. Oh, first things first. Now, why would I be wearing a crown? Well, someone walked up to the bishop like she was somebody, because our church, our little church, had won a major award, and it is not a leg walk. We are a green church for about the 3rd year running. We are a sustaining green church. Anyone can win once, but to persevere is not a small deal. And the reason why someone walked up to the bishop like she was someone was because it was supposed to happen on June 19th, and it went long. So I asked the bishop, are we going to do this tomorrow, Saturday? And she said, well, yeah, someone asked for 5 minutes, and they went to 20. So keeping what the bishop said in mind, I will try and do this in 5 minutes. Wednesday was we had the laity session, and we talked about that. And there was a special offering for MJ Kim. One thing the bishop said yesterday that landed on me hard, because I feel like I'm always asking for money. My husband's a treasurer, and I'm the one asking for money. The bishop said, people come to me and say, Bishop, you are always asking for money. And she said her mentor told her, this is a good thing because you're going to find something that touches your heart. So, I'm talking about money again. MJ Kim, it was the first, we spoke on Wednesday and Thursday about MJ Kim. And some of us know him because he came down when Cana Akatink started in our church. Our baby grew up, our baby left home. MJ Kim was the first Asian American ordained in the United Methodist Church. And I want to say in 1956, good things happened to the Methodists in years ending in 6. Anyway, MJ Kim went from one Korean or Asian American pastor to the church in Virginia having now over 100 Asian American pastors. Out of 1,200 pastors total. So there is a special conference offering for MJ Kim and advocacy because immigration rules change constantly. They want to have a legal fund to help our immigrant pastors. And at one time that would have included Pastor Hewan. So on June 18th, it was a celebration of Asian American ministries. There was also, this was a business meeting, and normally that's like, this is where good data goes to die. 12 churches closed in the Virginia conference, 9 of them under exigent circumstances, which usually means they don't have any money, and 3 voted to leave. But new churches were started, new churches are being founded. And Bumpy spoke. Bumpy is the pension and benefits management group. If you are on the finance committee, it was important. First of all, they're trying to keep apportionments level, which is good for them. But you have your choice now of paying your pastor 3 different ways. You can have someone who you have on staff do this, which we don't. You can outsource payroll, which we do. Or the conference, which has had all this data all the time and doesn't every year have to go to Paychecks and explain what a housing exclusion allowance is and how you do it and special rules for pastors. The conference said, you can do this with us. Starting January 1st is when the big rollout is, or beginning in October. And then Steve ran up and was hugging on David Thomasy, who's the treasurer of annual conference, and said, oh, please, 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 if our new pastor wants to do it in July, can we start then? We don't know yet, because that was Friday and everybody's gone home. It hasn't been in the office yet. But this is exciting. They are definitely trying to keep apportionments the same, which is good for us. Friday was a day of celebration, both of women and of Juneteenth. I really strongly encourage you to go onto the churches, onto baumc.org/AC, and it will have, AC 26, and that will have all of the stuff that happened, you know, the cage matches, the gladiator fights, it'll have all of the worship services, the lectures, the training. The Reverend Dr. Ashley Boggin with the General Commission on Archives and History presented a lecture on the early history of United Methodism. Definitely encourage you to see that. Methodists were called to be rabble-rousers and troublemakers. We were called to make the comfortable uncomfortable and to become most vile. The Reverend Dr. Candace Lewis talked about reclaiming our mission, recognizing that we get tired and we're feeling overwhelmed. But that was also a very good speech. We broke for lunch. There was a Juneteenth worship service, which was powerful. The Conference on Education spoke about that. Then there was a session on, they've revised Common Table, and now it's going to be, I was tired, I'll be honest. I did not take notes. But it starts, rather than being a top-down thing to reach out to our neighbors, it's going to be bottom-up, and they have all kinds of data about who our neighbors are. And one of the things I found out was that all of us know, on average, 150 people. And some of us know more, some of us know less, and that's why it's called an average. But if we reached out to, if all of us in the United Methodist Church reached out to 150 people we know or know casually, we would have reached out to pretty much all of the Virginia Conference to tell them about the word of the Lord and how powerful God can be in our life. And as I said, it was a lot, at the micro-communities section, there was a lot of data, and I'm sorry, I just was like, after, Pastor, help me, the Juneteenth, you know, what are you going to do? You go from Pentecostal praise and worship to, and now we're going to talk about the number of churches in the Virginia Conference, and so, Saturday, there was the fixing of appointments, the monitoring report, and we also had our awards, and there were a number of awards before us. We were the third group with the awards. One was Wesley Flame for churches that had done incredible growth in their area. One was One Matters, and this was talking about Miracle Sunday. You won't believe this, but for once, Cranford was ahead of the game. Yay.
And I promised I wasn't going to talk about it after March, May, whenever it was, but we're going to be doing this in October again, so you might want to start thinking. But they talked about how critical advanced theological education was for pastors in Europe, which you wouldn't think, Africa, and in the Pacific Islands. And one bishop had gotten a scholarship, and you knew the bishop. One bishop had gotten a scholarship from the United Methodist Church when he felt called, because he couldn't have gone otherwise. And now he's the bishop of Nigeria?
He's got several.
Yeah, anyway, our money goes out to do this. And it's a powerful thing. We're being called to look outside ourselves. And then, after that stirring and powerful thing with Africa University, we won a major award. And I want to say most of the churches that won a major award were from the Northern Virginia area, which you wouldn't think, but yes, it was. So I did not stay for ordination because I cried during ordination, but that's my report from the annual conference.